Hello, Leo. Welcome to your January as above 2020 reading. If you are new, I am Princess India. If you're a family, welcome back. Okay, well, they're just, all right. This is the theme of this month. We're just going with it. All right. So this card I picked with the intention of shining light from the lessons of your past, whatever, onto your present and into your future. And it's the Great Gathering. It says it's all coming together, intuitive hits and soul tribe. So what this is saying to me, my wonderful Leo peoples, is that coming into January, all of the paths that have led you here, right, are leading you to your soul tribe, your spiritual group, your spiritual family, your soul family, whatever, term you want to utilize. But it's leading you to these group of people who are going to be imperative on your journey going forward. Now, these could also be people that you have met recently, but those of you who have not, and I mean, even if it's an online family, like with us, the WokeBook clan, even if it's that, it's you guys getting into alignment with people who are going to play an integral role on your path going forward. Because I feel with this, it's more or less getting you guys prepped and primed to align with your purpose, your calling, the desires of your heart and things of the sort. And I feel that these I cannot talk. These people are going to play an integral part in such. So coming into our theme overall for the month of January, we have the Ten of Pentacles in the reverse, and we have the Knight of Cups in the reverse. The thing that I'm getting with this, honestly, is you guys worried a lot about finances this month. But I'm really feeling that I'm not really feeling so much that this is something that you really should be worried about. I feel this is okay. Well, yeah, all right. I feel that this is more or less fear-based, if anything, right? Because I think I get the vibe with this of struggle. It's like an uphill battle, like more or less up until this point, like, and I mean, this could be just for 2019 or this has just been the theme of your life thus far, that finances have always been the central theme of things that you guys are struggling with, so to speak. And I feel still in 2020, this is a concern. So it's not more or less that this is something you're really going to be dealing with. I feel that this is very, very fear-based. And specifically, this could be and this is going to be different for a lot of other people. For some of you, it's going to be financial worries. What is this, January? I don't know if it's, I'm a parent, and this may be something that gets me with the okie doke. I can't think of any dues. I don't know if you'd be paying graduation dues or something like that now, because for some of you, I feel this is like a teenager. And I mean, it could be an adolescent if they're graduating from like 8th grade. But I feel there's a concern tied to that, and that's kind of pointing back towards Christmas. Like maybe a little bit too much money was paid for Christmas, and I feel for some of you it's an adolescent or a teen kid, and it's financial worries coming back to that. So if I were to put this into a narrative, it's more or less in 2019, it's setting all of these goals, being very, very positive of what it is that you wanted to manifest in 2020. And I feel like this is kind of something that comes in and instantly grounds you and like sucks the wind out of your sails, so to speak. But what I think is important to note for you all is to not allow this to take you off track. Because specifically, if you're watching this reading this week, because of the full moon eclipse that's happening on the 10th, it's really tricky kind of energies, because I know the weekly reading that I did over on Patreon, it's like I saw that. It's real tricky kind of energies that are coming to kind of throw you off course. And the thing you don't want to do is to put your thought space and your energy into a lack mentality and the fear of things you've experienced past tense replicating themselves now. So this feels more to me like a catalyst situation where it's something that comes up in this month that kind of takes you off course of this really great energy that you guys were working towards with the Three of Pentacles coming out of 2019. For others of you, I feel like this is like an ex-husband or, you know, baby daddy type of energy. And it's the thought of, and this is interesting. I don't want to say bitterness. It's like resentment. It's more or less like this person isn't, like they're not playing their part, or they're not paying child support or something along those lines. But the thing I'm telling you, this is where this is like a forewarning type of deal, because this is one of those sneaky ways an energy can kind of come in and take root, because there's a lyric from a song that I like that describes this perfectly. And it's a song by Paramore, and she says, "Scars left on my heart form patterns in my mind." This is more or less how I always talk about like negative thinking patterns and things of the sort. This is more or less how those are born. It's like it enters through a slight or an emotional wound, right? And a seed of discord ends up taking root in our being, and this starts to manifest as thoughts. So now it's consumed our emotional energy and now our mental energy. And that's how we ultimately end up manifesting from this place. So this is something that you guys want to guard against. So for those of you that are in situations like that, like if you're single parents and you have an ex-husband or whatever that's not kind of holding their share, don't allow that energy to take root with you. And then for those of you who are just, you know, if you're married or not or whatever with kids, and just like something that's coming up with a kid that you didn't expect, you know what I mean? Don't allow that to take you off of the high vibe energy that you came into January with, right? Because I feel like that's the whole little okie doke that's trying to happen here. So for those of you who have a tribe, you know, go talk to your peeps, get a little bit of upliftment. For others of you, tune back into the things that Spirit was telling you last month and really hone in on, instead of putting your energy on what's lacking, or allowing that to take root. Because I even say for others of you that don't have kids or anything, this would be like self-doubt. It's you coming into 2020 feeling as if you have a purpose or a calling or a business that you want to start, or this grand idea, passion project, something you were inspired to do. And it's something coming in the 3D realm that throws you off kilter, and your energy stops focusing on the light and starts focusing on the dark, so to speak. So as opposed to focusing on abundance, you're now focusing on lack. But this can, of course, manifest in a myriad of different ways. But the most important thing to note is the high vibes you came in with, the challenge to them is something in your everyday life that's kind of bringing you back to ground zero, but don't allow it to bring you all the way down, right? Like recheck yourself and realign your thoughts. Now, when we're looking at your roadblock, we have the Six of Pentacles in the reverse, and that to me brings me back to this theme energy. It's something that isn't, there's a lack thereof of reciprocity. Let me say it that way. It's more or less, a person would start to think that, oh, I was so foolish to be thinking this. It's like I'm sitting up here with all these intentions and resolutions and blah, 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 blah. And it's more or less seeing this lack or whatever, or how you don't have enough, or, you know, falling victim to this little challenge that you guys are coming into. And it's this inadvertently becoming a block that's stopping you from getting to where it is that you're going. So I have to stress this, Leo, because I'm really seeing how this can pan out like that. It's like this is literally, and let me say it like this. It's kind of one of those things that I think all of us struggle with as adults. It's like when you have an emotional experience, like say if you heard something that really motivated you to be optimistic, it's like, and what this literally is, it's the is not is paradigm. This is how manifestation is coming in. And one thing I can tell you, a key sign that what you've prayed for, or what you've set intentions for, what you've asked God for, what you decreed and declared, spoke over your life, whatever the case may be, the number one sign that what you asked for is coming to pass is when you find resistance. It's when the is not manifests. But that's the way that the process of manifestation happens. when we call something into our life that did not exist there prior, a void, which would be the is not, has to manifest first to create space for the is to take its place. And that's exactly what I'm seeing happen for you guys. So I can literally go as far as to say that this is the dark before the light. So whatever it is that you guys set intentions for, whatever it is that you guys desire to build, or what you call them, whatever the case may be, these things are coming to you. But the mistake that we often make when we're manifesting is that when the is not comes in, we end up thinking, oh, I was so foolish to even think that I could just set an intention and believe that something like this is going to happen. It's like, my life not set up like that. I don't have money for that. You know what I'm saying? And that whole spiral of negative thoughts starts. And when we get into that, right, emotionally as well as mentally, that inadvertently takes us out of alignment with the frequency that we were in that was drawing in what we asked for, right? So this light frequency is the pathway to draw into you what it is that you're calling in. But the process means that dark has to manifest before the light does. And it's a need to consistently remind yourself of that this month. Because if you get caught in the dark, and you align with the dark and the lack and what's wrong and what is, and not like what is in 3D and not what is in the ethereal realm, you inadvertently take yourself off course and out of alignment with that which you called in, if that's making sense, right? And then the possibilities, we have the Hanged Man in the reverse, and that's enlightenment. It's like there's no longer a pause. It's more or less you overcoming the situation and the circumstances, you overcoming the standing in faith in a sense. And now you get to stand on the solid ground of that which you manifested, right? So, and that's a possibility. The reason why that's a possibility is because this challenge that I'm seeing here with the block, with the Six of Pentacles, man, I'm literally seeing this as, okay, this is literally, okay, this is literally a forewarning. I'm not joking. Because how I said it starts with an emotional wound, it starts to manifest with the thoughts, and you start to see it in 3D. It's like this is literally what would be happening inside the event or whatever that would trigger this, right? And then this would be the beginnings of the manifestation of this in 3D, which means you're taking this state that you're within. Now you're looking without and you're seeing what's within without now. So where you were seeing the possibilities and everything, now with this challenge that comes in, you're now seeing the lack and everything. So you're starting to see how unfair stuff is, how you still don't have enough, the money that's not enough in your bank account, all the bills that you have coming up. Now this is coming up and that's coming up and this is going wrong and that's going wrong. And you see how that's a spiral? So you have the ability to stop yourself. You can, and I believe that you will. It's just anytime you feel that darkness rising up or that doubt rising up, it's focused back on light. And I know when I was in church, that's something that my pastor used to always say. He always said that whenever you are in a state of confusion, you feel as if you're in darkness or you feel lost, the light is always found in going back to remember the last thing that God told you. What is the last thing that God told you? That is your torch. You go back to that and it's going to light your path again. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I got for you. We're going to go ahead and throw the dice that have no name and the dice of resonance. We're going to start with the dice of resonance. So if you have a yes or no question, go ahead and ask that now. And what's not to whatever. We're going to throw these, and after that, we're going to pull the cards for the extended reading, the soul below, all the shadow aspects, and all that good stuff. All right, we have Pisces, we have Taurus, we have Crush, we have No, and we have Mars, so, or Male. So Pisces, Taurus, Crush, No, and I'm sorry, guys, if that's your baby mama, ex-wife, too. I totally said that just as if we're all girls here and we know that's not true. No and Mars or Male, Pisces, Taurus, Crush, No and Mars or Male. And now we are going to throw the dice that have their name. I'm sorry, y'all. I usually be catching myself. Fascinating. Ha! We have the number 1. That means your major, I can't talk. Your major arcana for the month is the Magician, and that is exactly what I'm seeing here. A lot of manifestation, magician energy. We have Cancer and we have the moon, and this Cancer symbol has very much like special, significance to me this month. But I see that synonymous with balance of the masculine and feminine and the number 8. So I would infer that, like I said, this is the darkest part before the dawn, and things are about to get great and awesome for you all, Leo. All right, let's see. With the moon, Sales, mother, feminine principle, laws of polarity. How is your past being recreated in the present? How do you feel about yourself, your relationships with others? Dude, this is funny. What this is talking about is exactly what I just described to you. When it asks, how is your past being recreated in the present? This is exactly how that happens. It's through fear-based energies. We think about worst case scenario, what it is that happened when we find ourselves in a situation where we fear the past is being created, right? We end up aligning with that fear, and then we start doing things to sidestep that fear. But what we don't see from an objective stance is that it's inadvertently taking us off track, just like I was saying. So the key is to challenge that, is to do the polar opposite of what it is that you always do. If we look at the Hanged Man in the upright, this card is talking about allowing. It's not resisting the process. It's surrendering to the process. It's allowing that which is to unfold. And that requires a level of trust, because what it ends up becoming is more or less what you asked for. The resistance that you're experiencing, this is a statement that what you intended to manifest is manifesting. But it's a need to understand the laws of manifestation and the process of what it looks like, which is the whole is not is thing, right? So with the resistance being a sign that what you've called in is manifesting, you can stand in your power and surrender and allow the process to unfold, because you know what lies on the other side is that which you stood in faith for in the past. You know what I'm saying? So it's a co-creation with spirit. So what this is going to require is a level of trust, of bravery and strength, and walking by faith and not by sight. You have to fixate on the light, the unseen, what you don't see manifesting physically. And the challenge is trusting that you know that you know that you know, even though in the external realm you don't see signs of it. It's what you know in your spirit that you're really standing on. And that's how you align with it, in so many words. And what the moon symbolizes, you know what I'm saying? It's like walking blind. Trust in spirit and things. So with the number 1, your major arcana to meditate on this month is the Magician. And it says beginnings, strength, and self-reliance, opening and awakening the self, personal identity. Identity and union, unity, two sides of the same coin. So it's more or less looking at your experiences, and I often describe this as the light side and the dark side of the sword. It's more or less with your manifestation power up until this point, right? If we look at it like, the actual suit of swords, you've experienced the dark side of the sword up until this point. What we're doing now is we're learning the light side of the sword. So it's us going through the same lessons that we've experienced before, but now since we have wisdom from our past, now that we know the processes of manifestation, we can overstand our situation, that objective perspective, and we can learn or experience the light side of the sword, the same way we did the dark side. So we're familiar with what's happening, but instead of us being in the position of life happening to us, we're in a position of power, knowing that life is happening for us. And the imperative thing, Leo, I'm being so redundant, but I have to stress this. The imperative thing is knowing that this is happening for you and not to you. So we're going to pick our cards for our extended. First, we're picking our person or pattern of interest. that falls into our hidden blocks and enemies and things. Oh God, not y'all too. Y'all got the whole little Tinderist card. That card is so creepy. So your little person of interest is in relation, and I'm gonna say it. With this Hanged Man here, for some of you, this may be romantic related, where this is a little Rico Suave person, like an ex, like, you know, ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend, ex-husband, ex-wife, that may try to come in on the premise of something with the kids or something of the sort, and because you being in this financial situation, they're going to be trying to ease their way up in on some stuff. The person may be an Aquarius, and y'all just watch also people that's coming into your life this month. I'm going to say it like that. You know what I'm saying? Watch the people that's coming in your life this month, because they intentions ain't the best ones out there, if you know what I'm saying, and what's not, or whatever. But anywho, we're going to get into that in the extended. We're going to pick a dark mirror card, and I'm going to tell you guys these cards before we go over yonder on the Vimeo to the so below and what's not, or whatever. Let me get one dark mirror card for what Leo needs to know, please, Spirit. There's definitely a financial increase for Leos, no lie. All right, we have what I said, Lord Jesus in heaven. Woo! We got the Knight of Wands in the reverse. What I said. We got the Magician. Ain't that some stuff? We got the High Priestess in the reverse. That's that road opener right now. Then we have Death in reverse, and we have Peaceful Among Thorns. All right, y'all. I'm going to go over to Vimeo for your extended. If you're about that life, the link is below. Beat me over there. If not, still love your freaking face, and I will see you guys sooner than later. Deuces.